Hello guys, this is regarding viewer discretion is advised, blood guts, usual thing. Just I put this up here for my safety. This is my first female issei. What if female issei had Kurumi's powers? I thought that'd be a great Halloween idea, and I'm sorry it's late. Halloween is my mom's favorite holiday, and I did the tradition this year, and my family wanted to make sure I had a good one since my mom was gone. Now that being said, sorry for the pause there, had to swallow. I'm now doing Twitch, and I want to tell you guys here. So I really would like you guys to go check out my Twitch, check out my streams, and I will still be posting my streams here. That does not mean I'm going straight to Twitch and ditching this. I'm still doing what ifs. It's just I'm trying to expand channel content and have something on YouTube for you guys especially if I do what I need to do. Soon, I'm going to be producing less and less what ifs, and that's really why I'm trying to go through the backlog, to be honest, because it's stuff that's nearly ready that only takes me 2 hours to do instead of about 2 to 3 days to write. At most, earliest I've ever gone through is a few hours in a day. So that's why I'm doing this. And when I do get through the backlog, I am focusing on all what ifs, so don't worry. That being said, let's get started. What if female Issei had Kurumi's powers? Issei, why are you running from me, Issei? Come back here. As the voice of a young teenage girl, Kurumi, was echoing off the buildings. She was chasing a young little girl through an empty city. The girl was just trying to stay alive at this point. The voice sang, "Where are you going, my little Issei? It's time to play." As the red glaring from her dress could be seen as she walked past the girl. From the girl's point of view, she's been running and hiding for almost 2 years since she was 3. If that nightmare finds me, the girl thought, she will end me. Trying to not panic, but just then shots were fired at the hiding spot, and the girl's voice saying, "It's time to accept this." Young little girl that was hiding thoughts on the matter were she didn't want to accept it. This was crazy. She's been driven nearly insane every night by this. She just wanted to wake up to her mommy and brother. She just couldn't take it anymore. Screaming to herself, "Just leave me alone," as a girl appeared before the scared little girl in the corner. The little girl's appearance was she had brown hair with it turning black on the end. She had it in twin tails. She has one green eye and one red eye. She was wearing her PJs. Sadly, the girl that was chasing her smiled sweetly and very sickly at her, saying, "Oh, my beloved little Issei, you need to stop hiding from me so we become one. After all, you are the love of my life and my beloved. So please stop playing hard to get," as she licks the little girl's face, pointing the gun at her head, and before she could pull the trigger, the little girl disappeared, with the other girl pouting, saying, "Phooey. But don't worry, my beloved, I will be with you soon." And she smiled a crazy smile filled with an insane blush on her face. The young girl awakened, panting and screaming out of fear. Her older brother ran into the room, hugging her, saying, "It's all right, Issei. It was just that bad dream again. This is Kane. He's 15, has short dark brown hair and yellow eyes, and it's considered a dream boat by a lot of women, but unknown to both his sister and mother." Sorry, I'm speaking a little faster. Soon after they lost their father last year, he became an angel and is in Michael's deck as a Joker. He is also the Red Dragon Emperor, and on the side, Kane has been secretly taking care of stray devils around Konoha to keep his family safe. He has been talking to Michael about what's going on with Issei, but they really have no idea what's happening to her. So he's been trying to keep a close eye on his little sister and make sure she's okay. Once Issei got dressed and cleaned up, she started walking to school with her best friend Irina. She was also her crush. Issei knows she likes girls, but since Irina is a Christian and they are a Christian family, Issei has been keeping her feelings about her buried deep inside. They were walking and talking about the game they played at Issei's house recently. And Kane was just smiling, seeing how happy his little sister is. And yes, to everyone's horror, especially women, he's a ciscon. A pretty bad one at that. And heaven, there were actual jokes going around who's a bigger Siscot. Him, Sir Zex, or Lady Leviathan. Those dumb enough to voice their opinions got their butts handed to them every time. Once Game Major Issei was alright, he left. But not before Issei having to force her way out of his grasp and grip. She stuck her tongue out at him, calling him Baka brother, and ran in, hand to hand with Irina, which made Irina blush. Getting her hand held was one of her favorite things with Issei. But as this was happening, her thoughts wandered. She wondered why she loved spending so much time with Issei, why her heart was always beating so fast and uncontrollably. She shook her head and decided it's best just to focus on being with Issei and going to school. During school, Issei was dozing off a bit, trying her best not to fall asleep, because that meant dealing with the being. She's always called her Nightmare after that first nightmare. But sadly, Issei could not keep her eyes open anymore. Issei once awakened more. Issei once awakened again to the city, with the girl behind her saying, "Oh, you know how to make a woman blush. For I am your beloved Nightmare, little Issei." As she skips forward towards Issei. Issei just bolts as fast as her little legs can carry her, while Nightmare's just skipping and humming like she's playing with delicious prey. Just then, Issei saw something in the distance, so she started running even faster. But to her, the city seems never ending, as if it is nothing but a huge void that keeps refilling itself. This place has become her personal hellhole, and that nightmare figure that is always following her scares her. Issei finally finding an open door from a glittering building. Without hesitating, she went in and hid right under the stairwell in the darkness. But as this was going on, the scene outside started to change. It turned into a crimson sky with a golden clock visible. Blood seemed to be oozing out of the walls, and the sound of tapping heels can be heard. Tap, 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 tap. The words, "My little Issei, come out to play," were heard over and over again until the heels stopped at the bottom of the stairwell. And Issei started breathing slower and slower until she stopped altogether. The heels started to tap, 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 until they stopped just a hair's breadth away where Issei was hiding. Nightmare pouted, saying, "This is not fun for me, little Issei. I'm starting to get tired of playing hard to get. After all, we're meant to be one, and you're meant to be my only one. So where are you hiding?" With her anger just getting truly noticeable. As Nightmare tap, 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 tapped away. Once Nightmare's tap, tap, tap got far enough, Issei came out of the darkness and slowly climbed to the top. Once she was almost there, Issei sadly bumped into a rail, and it echoed. The words, "I found you," were heard throughout the building as dark hands made of shadows started sprouting from the ground and the walls trying to grab Issei. But Issei rushed forward, slamming open the roof door, seeing that she was on the top of a 30-story building. Knowing she has nowhere else to go, Issei takes deep breaths in and out, preparing herself. As the hands are about to grab her, Issei leaps, and the voice of Nightmare screams, "No! No, no, no!" as Issei falls rapidly. Seeing Nightmare and grinning, saying, "Fuck you, lady." But as Issei's about to hit the ground, the cats grab her. Before they could do anything, Issei was awakened by Irina, saying, "Are you okay? You seem stressed out again." Issei nodded her head, saying, "It's the usual dream, so I'm okay." Rita had a very worried look on her. She's been wanting to help Issei with all these bad dreams, but she can't, and it scares her. She finally just sighed and responded, "All right, let's go." After that, they played all day in the park, having fun, not having a care in the world at all. But unknown to Issei, a devil was watching her. A young girl near her age saying, "So that's my rival's sister. I think it's best we leave her alone for now." Walking away, the fallen behind her saying, "Wonder what kind of gear she has. It seems powerful." I'll think about it later." Issei has been much more happier lately. The streams have not happened in a short while, about a week in total. It's been very nice to her not waking up freaking out every day like she has for the past 2 years. He said was wondering why this was happening now. I wish it started after the first week it happened. But she also felt sad, great sadness, because Erin sadly had to move away a few days ago. And Erin and Issei basically lost her first crush and friend, but she did find out that Erin actually loves her and she kissed her. And now they're even more closer, talking on the phone from time to time. But thinking about it, this made her even more depressed than she already was at times. He said just wanted to get out. Decided to go back to the park and got on the swing set. There was just swinging. Then a girl with light silver hair and hazel eyes wearing a white dress walked up to her, saying, "Hi there. Is that swing next to you taken?" Issei looked at her, and Issei knew her face became crimson red. Her only thoughts on the matter was she was equal to beauty to Irina. Issei finally speaking, "No, it's not. By the way, my name is Issei Hyoto. What's yours?" The girl smiled, saying, "My name is Valley. It's nice to meet you, Issei." They then started talking about their lives and made a play date for later after school. Issei waved goodbye to Valley. As Issei was running back home, Valley had a conversation and was thinking out loud, wondering why her father wanted her to befriend this weakling and girl so much. Just then, a deep male voice came out, saying, "If she has the gear I think she has, Issei could kill us in one shot, Volley." Volley gave a shocked look but looked extremely happy, saying, "Really, that's interesting," as the happiness became lust-filled. With a voice saying, "I need to teach you how not to fall to battle lust." Ugh, such a problematic girl. Issei finally got home. Getting into the house to see Kane and her mother, saying, "Hey guys, I made a new friend today." They both said, "That's great to hear. But let's eat first. Then we'll talk about it after dinner. Okay?" Finishing dinner, Kane asked, "So who is this new friend? It better not be a boy." His thoughts were no boy was worthy of his little sister. Issei waved her hand, saying, "No, it's a girl, Keoni-chan." But Issei silently thought to herself, "I'm into girls, okay, Oni-chan. I don't even like boys." After after that, Kane got much more happier. He said, Fallen continued, saying, "Her name is Volley. She's really nice, and it was fun playing with her. I hear that she's joining my school tomorrow." Hearing that name, Kane's face got really grim, almost sad. But he snapped out of it when he heard, "Oni-chan, are you okay?" Seeing his sister's worried-filled face made his heart melt. Kane responded, "No, I'm fine. Sorry about that, little sis. There's a bad thought crossed his mind." He patted her head as lightly and gently as he could. But once he got to see her angelic smile, it destroyed him. With a voice cry out, "Great! This is why I'm called the Oni-chan Dragon Emperor, you sis-con pervert!" And Kane screamed back, "I don't see her that way, you perverted Dragon Dre!" Drag said, "It's best to keep the supernatural away from her." Taking a breath, saying, but if Issei has that gear I think she has, she's screwed, partner. Kane asks, I want to know what it is, but you've never told me. Ever, partner. Drag answered, partner, if Issei, aka your sister, has what I believe is in her, she is the strongest being in the world when she masters it. So keeping her safe is a top priority, partner, especially from the forces of the fallen angels and devils. Yes, you cannot trust Michael with her. Kane was hesitant but agreed with his partner. After all, he did approve of all of his wisdom he's gotten over there. After they had this exchange, they excused themselves from the table, and later that night Issei had gone to bed. But what terrified her, she was in a dream world. But this time it wasn't the city. It was pitch black. All she could see was a young girl with black hair crying. Issei slowly walked up to the girl her age, seeing that she was Nightmare, the being that's been terrorizing her. But why is she crying? Once Issei got closer and could start hearing words, I'm so sorry, why? Not understanding what's going on, but noticing she was holding something. Looking closely, she realized she held a bunny in her arms. An older woman that looked a lot like a nun, telling her, I'm so sorry, honey, that your bunny is dead. The girl that was crying asked, why was Thumper dead? The older woman hugged her, saying, because all things must die in this world, dear. That's the flow of life and time. The girl cried in the older woman's arms as she tried to comfort her. Issei awoken and realized, could this be a memory of Nightmare? That's been scaring me? Maybe Nightmare's not bad, but she was trying to reason with herself. Starting to remember other things, especially other dreams she's had over the years. One where Nightmare tried to drown her in bugs. One where she tried to pierce her with spears. The weirdest one, Nightmare actually tried to make her into ice cream and saying she'd be delicious to lick. Issei really had a bad day after that one. Shaking her head, thinking it's best to keep my thoughts in order and I can figure this out later. From now on, I need to focus about my new friend at school. Getting up, grabbing her lunch bag from her mom and screaming, Goodbye, Oni-chan and Mommy. They scurried back, stay safe. She ran to the nearby park to see Vali. She was so beautiful in that school uniform, Issei thought. Issei was wondering about the feeling she had. Was this what Mommy called a lady boner? He's not really understanding what she said, just shook her head and walked up to Wally, saying, Good morning, V-chan. Wally blushed, saying, Wait, what? Issei smiled back to her, saying, A nickname I've decided to call you. V-chan, because you stand for victory. I hope you like it. Wally turned crimson, saying, It's pretty good. Issei nodded her head, grabbing V-chan's face. V-chan's hand, sorry. Started to run to school, with Volley getting even more crimson faced from holding hands, saying, I better not get pregnant. Issei's only thoughts on the matter, she was just being so cute, and she was all hers. Huh. So wondered why she was getting thoughts like this all of a sudden. But once they got to school, she shaked it off. And Vali, or V-chan's popularity, skyrocketed as soon as she entered the room. Both boys and girls are trying to be her friend, as Issei put in air quotes. But they don't understand Vali is hers and only hers. What's going on with me? Issei was just shaking her head, wondering why all of a sudden she got so possessive over V-chan. Just not wanting to really think about it. They went on with their day and they played in the park after school. It was really, really great. It was like this for most of the time. Her playing with Vali at the park or each other houses, even though Kane didn't really like it that much. But during these few weeks, Issei noticed her personality was changing too much in certain areas. She really wasn't understanding what's going on. But ever since Vali or Vichan entered her life and became her friend, Issei will admit her life is feeling so much brighter. But all those dreams are getting weirder. They're more like memories. The last one showed Nightmare killing a group of fallen with glee-filled expression. It made Issei wonder how this girl she calls Nightmare turned into such a horrible person now. But she's more concerned about the bad mood she's been in with her brother. He's really agitated with Vali, or Vichin as she loves to call her, and they've been getting into fights and arguments. Issei's mom just says she's being a little overprotective of her. After getting some of these thoughts out, Issei's mom screamed, "Are you ready?" And Issei screamed back, "Yes, I am." They're going to the store, and Kane has to meet a friend today, and V-Chan has to meet her with her dad today. But unknown to Issei and her mom, they were being followed as soon as they left the door. Kane was actually talking to Michael in a coffee shop. Kane saying, "I know this girl is a white dragon emperor. I'm afraid she's trying to get close to my sister to either hurt me or her. But my little Issei doesn't listen to me. She's just saying I'm being a jealous jerk, Oni-chan, and I need to get a life. My little Issei is my life. Why does she not get that?" As Kane sobbed into the table, hitting it, with many beautiful girls heartbroken. He's a siscon. But wait, you can change that. I know to them he's already fallen too far. Sorry. But Michael was just trying to console and be a good person. But thinking about it, this is why you're known as the world's strongest Oni-chan Red Dragon Emperor in the entire supernatural world. I'm so sorry for you, Drake. While King was crying, Drake, Drake screamed and cried, "Why do I have to get a perverted brother for a partner?" And somehow he was all of a sudden drinking booze and a gear. Realizing it was a gift from Michael, he thanked him. During this time period, Vali and Issei were almost inseparable, just like she was with Irina. Vali having a conversation with Albie and her dad today. Azazel asked, "So, how's that girl?" Vali answered that she's annoying, and I hope she's worth all this annoying effort. Azazel laughed, saying, "You're lying. I know your favorite part of the day is seeing her." Well, it got red. No, it's not. Albie saying, "Yes, it is. After all, you kind of confessed to that girl the other day and kissed her by accident." This made Vali get steam her head, with Azazel saying, with tears in her eyes, "That's my baby girl, going after the ladies. I'm proud of you. But thanks for the help, Albion, keeping her safe while I can't. Though I wish I knew what Issei had as a sacred gear, though." Scratching his head and even his own chin, Albion shuddered, remembering what he truly thinks this being is, saying, "If it's who I think it is, this being nearly ate me and the Red Dragon Emperor. I would hate to see how much power or how much greater her power got over the years, and her being a gear now, wondering what Issei could do with it." Zazel, hearing all this, said he agreed with that statement. And if what he said was true, he hoped the girl is safe from the gear's soul host right now, because he sounds pretty dangerous. Issei had just gotten back to the store with her mom. They had entered the house and were getting things put away when all of a sudden the doorbell just goes off. Issei's mom, just wondering who it is, went to answer the door. Two men were standing there in cloaks and shadow. Everything was shadow. But before she could say anything, a spear of light in a magic circle appeared. From the two men at the door, a spear flew down through the spear launched, sorry, ugh, I was reading the wrong line, launched through and pierced Issei's mother with the lightning seeming to fly into her, nearly burning her to a crisp as well. She fell, and as she fell, she spoke with all the remaining strength she had left. Run, Issei. Seeing this, Issei's eyes went wide, and before she could even run, Issei was grabbed by the two men. One of them saying, "We have her, let's get her to the master. He's going to love his new favorite toy." They knock Issei out and walk away. During this, Issei actually woke in the dream world again. Tears were just streaming down her face. Nightmare appeared all of a sudden and was about to play with Issei. But seeing the tears and the distraught in Issei's face, Nightmare's own expressions turned into a dark, twisted horror show, with her even saying, "Who dares makes my beloved Issei cry?" Issei was not even paying attention as she was wailing and screaming about her mother, and tears just kept flowing down her face. She was clearly terrified, downright upset, and drowning in despair so fast, though even though Nightmare was looking at her. She's trying best not to let her rage consume her and take and hurt Issei. When Issei finally stopped, she just looked at Nightmare broken. No life in her eyes. Not even happiness was left in that moment. Issei just saying, "Please, please just kill me. I don't want to live anymore." Just then, Nightmare shocked Issei. She got down to her level and hugged her as tightly as she could, slowly stroking her head, saying, "It's okay if she's gone. I'll be here for you. And if the rest of the world turns on you, I will always be here. And if all in the end everyone leaves you, I'll make sure to be the person you need. Okay, now that you're calmed down, let's have a quick proper talk. My name is Kurumi. 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 Sorry, Kurumi. I'm known as a spirit in time in some places." Issei looked at her, saying, "My name is Issei." Kurumi smiled, saying, "I know, but I'm also known as this, the second true Longinus, the eternal nightmare. And I'm going to give you some of my power. Not all of it, though. Sadly, you cannot handle my spirit drive form, and if I actually gave you my full power in this broken state as you're in, it would destroy you completely. And I will not let that happen. But what I will give you is what's called balance breaker form. But you say astral astral dress instead. Do this once you wake up, and I will take over and help. But after this, we need to have a long chat with just me and you. Is this agreeable?" She nodded and shook her head, with Kuruma saying, Kurumi saying, "It's nice to finally be with my beloved Issei. We can talk about the marriage later." This made Issei's eyes widen, but before she could say anything, Kurumi saying, "Now, when you wake up, never be afraid of anything. You are now the beloved person of the eternal nightmare of all beings. You are what scares this world." Issei's eyes opened after hearing that, seeing what looked to be a warehouse with the two men in the cloaks. They were sitting on a group of crates across from each other, having a conversation. One was saying, "Why do we need to get this girl again?" The other man saying, "Simple. She's friends with the White Dragon Emperor. Her brother's the Red Dragon Emperor. So if we make her devil, we have a pawn piece to use as we please, and making sure heaven stays out of her freaking business. Plus, you know the master. That little girl is this type." The other guys were loud, saying, "True, what a pervert." Just then, a man enters the room. He was wearing what looked to be old noble clothing from the 18th century. He had slick black hair, green eyes. It was a bit old looking, with some wrinkles on his face. Both men saying, Master Tryon. He looked at them and they just silenced their mouths, knowing they didn't want to die. He turned to the small girl saying, This here is the perfect pawn piece for us. This thing is related to the red and knows the white, correct? They both nodded. Tryon smiled as he went to grab Issei by the throat, saying, This will only hurt for a moment, then I'll make you one of us. Just then the words astral dress were heard, and a mad laugh filled the room. There's a sweet little innocent voice saying, So you like to play? Well, 2 down, 1 to go. Hearing that, Tryon turned around to see hands forming from darkness, pulling both his men down so fast into a void that all he could see was blood being sprayed all over the warehouse. Tryon turned to turned to the girl to see a golden clock eye in a red dress. Before he could do anything or even feel scared, bullets could be heard. Looking down to see his own chest filled with bullet holes. Coughing up blood, and it actually ended up on Issei's face. With Kurumi saying, Disgusting, you filthy dog, make my Issei's body bloody. As Issei used the power to rip his legs off, making him drop her. He crashed to the ground, tried to attack her with magic, but Kurumi sang bet and fired a bullet, making Tryon go incredibly slow as time was barely moving at all. Issei then using the hands to rip off his arms, walking around him, pointing the gun at his head, with Kurumi saying Gimel, firing a bullet that then starts to age Tryon rapidly. As he was slowly dying from age, Issei looked at him, and her own voice saying, I hope this taught you a lesson on who not to fuck with. As Issei disappeared into the ground. During this, Azazel, Kane, and Volley felt something wrong had just happened. And Kane grabbed Michael, all of them appearing back at Kane and Issei's house. Kane bolted into the door to find his mother dead, sensing his sister was not even there anymore. All he wanted to do was mourn the loss of his mother in this moment, but he couldn't. Right now, Issei was missing and he had to find her. Even Volley was looking very worried and scared that she lost Issei. And Azazel and Michael just looking at the scene. They've seen this before, but the horror they know what that little girl must have just saw made them sick. Everyone looks at each other, back and forth, until finally they all just nod. They spent hours trying to find Issei, and once they could finally find a trail, they got to the warehouse, only to find blood everywhere and a devil that was turned into ash. Michael quickly knocked out Kane because he almost relieved the Juggernaut drive for him right then and there. Michael looked and told Azazel to look into this. He knows she's still alive. This is demonic blood, he can tell. Azazel nodded. Now, it has been years since that day, and we see a young teenage girl with mostly black hair with some brown in it. One red eye that was visible is waiting in the back of the classroom, and someone says, Hey there, Issei. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm sorry for all the flubs. I was just trying to get this done before going to bed. I hope you guys will have a great after Halloween. This is the Real Guardian signing off.